So I wanted to go ahead and just share a product sourcing mistake that I made recently. So I sell in the grocery category, which is low hanging fruit and it has a lot of high competition. But the on the bright side of that, there's a lot of variety. It's fast moving because the world's always going to need groceries. And with all of the different categories that Walmart shut us out of recently, that's one category that didn't really take a hit. There are some items in there, like some protein bars, that did take some hit, but for the most part, it's pretty untouched. So although it's crazy competitive, most items really do fly off the shelf, and there's a lot of different stores you can go ahead and source from, and different like clearance and sales that you can take advantage of, like Publix BOGO that I talk about a lot, that I take advantage of on a weekly basis. But for this product, I totally missed the mark. So when I source, I have to check Amazon's data through Martyr and most recently WAMP to estimate Walmart's performance. Since Amazon is faster moving than Walmart, I like to see at least 300 units a month on there on Amazon's data. This product did show zero when it came to Martyr, but it showed it that at a really high price, and sometimes Marta gets it wrong. So when you click on it and you look at the item, it does stand true. But then when you go and you hit the Amazon icon and you look at the listing on Amazon's landing page, there's a bunch of different varieties and bundle packs that sell for thousands of times a month. So I figured I'll go ahead and test it anyways, especially because there were no red flags when it came to the offer count. There was no issue with Walmart being on the buy box over 30% of the year. At the time, there were only three other sellers on there that were doing it through WFS. So I figured I'll give it a test. Fast forward, I hit the warehouse with the item. Sorry, I shipped it to the warehouse, and the item barely moved. In order for me to even move it or make a profit off of it, I only had to I have to move it all the way down and liquidate it to only make a penny off of every sale. And so the lesson learned, although I have a lot of like fast moving items that do super well for me, on the items that typically end up being like a womp womp for me, I noticed that it's when I cannot find the exact variation moving on Amazon, not bundles or multi packs, exactly the item. It's the exact count and quantity that it is, and when I can't find it exactly on Amazon, it's just usually not worth the risk.